Hello, I'm Armin Budish. Welcome to Golden Opportunities.
Today, how do you decide the best age for joining a retirement community? We'll number the reasons why younger is better. Then, how to make the mark with Target funds. We'll wave goodbye to confusion over those Medicaid waivers. Plus, our doctor has the answers for what ails you. And can you be held liable for your parents' nursing home costs?
It's time to get GOing, so pull up a chair and join us at our kitchen table for Golden Opportunities. You know, those beautiful retirement communities, your own place, lots of activities, built-in neighbors and friends. But that's all for old people, right? They're not for a young whippersnapper, 55 or 60 like you, or are they? David Schell and Karen Mueller are here to share why the saying, the earlier the better, applies especially to the situation that we're going to be talking about. David is the executive director of Breckenridge Village Retirement Community in Willoughby, and Karen Mueller is a resident there. Thank you both for joining us today.
It's nice to be here, Armin.
So David, the eligible age for moving into a retirement community in most places is around 55, but that seems pretty young. Shouldn't people look at this at a much older age?
Well, one of the things that people always tell me when they move into Breckenridge after they've been there, I wish I would have made the move sooner. And I can honestly say in the many years that I've been at Breckenridge, that's the number one comment. And statistically, we know that if people move in, they quit worrying about the future, they engage in activities, do meaningful work, live longer and healthier. And so it's a win-win. And so a lot of times, if they're thinking about a condominium, this may be a great alternative to skip the condominium and live the lifestyle in the retirement community and know that things are cared for in the future.
You were telling me somebody moved in not too long ago that was, what, 58?
58, yeah.
How is that person enjoying it?
She's doing wonderfully well. And a lot of folks are still working and living in the community.
And Karen, you've moved into Breckenridge, and you're relatively young. I won't talk about age, but was your age a factor in the decision?
Somewhat. I would say that the age of our children and grandchildren was a factor in that we no longer needed such a large home to entertain and take care of. So we saw that maintaining and having the responsibilities of a home.
Now you're fine, your health is good, you're active. What about your husband? Same thing?
Same thing.
Great,
yeah.
Great.
And we're healthier because of Breckenridge, because we have a fabulous fitness center that has classes and a trainer to help you with the equipment that's there. So we can, actually I feel like I'm in better health now than I was before.
When you look around and you see people who are older than you there, do you feel like you're too young for the place?
No, not at all. In fact, we've met so many wonderful people who have backgrounds that are so interesting, and just like all of us, you learn from your elders, and they have shared, their lives with us. So
what are some of your favorite things to do there?
I suppose the Wellness Center is one of my favorite places. Just the opportunity to be a part of a daily routine that I can do. Like Cal Hunter, we are involved in the wood shop, and we've done some amazing projects for others as well as things we want to make on our own.
Great. David, are we seeing a trend in people thinking about moving to a retirement community sooner than they were before?
Absolutely. And in fact, we are starting to see the first baby boomers, and we started a program called the Boomer Advantage. And we set up kind of a pricing model for people to pay kind of almost like a balloon mortgage for the entry fee cost. And it enables people to move in younger and to enjoy the lifestyle and receive the benefits of it. So it's a win-win for all of us. It's just a great opportunity.
Well, when I've described it to people, it's often the word resort slips out. Yes. Karen, any advice you can share for people who are listening right now who may be on the fence?
Well, I know people keep repeating the phrase, don't wait too long. And I can't say that enough, because I feel that moving is challenging.
Yep.
Getting all your stuff together, and
it's easier to do it when you're healthy and active.
Yes, exactly. So I would say don't wait too long. Prepare well as well.
David, Karen, thanks for great advice, as always. Appreciate it. So let's see, if you move into a retirement community, you can keep involved in your current activities. You can add some fun new ones, have someone else worry about the lawn and most of the maintenance, and meet great folks like David and Karen. So why wait? If you'd like to learn more about the Boomer Advantage program and Breckenridge Village, call the number that's coming up next. And my thanks to David and Karen for making themselves at home here with us today.
Learn more by calling Breckenridge Village at 440-954-8359 or visit their website, www.breckenridgeohio.org. Next, should you set your sights on target date funds? But first, we'll hit a patriotic note with today's question. Francis Scott Key penned the vivid images of the Star-Spangled Banner. But how could the captured Key even see the flag waving over Fort McHenry? Is there something off-key about this claim? Find out when we return.
Sometimes it's about beating the clock. Sometimes it's about beating fate. And sometimes it's about beating the unimaginable. But there's one opponent our team loves to beat more than any other. We love beating the odds. We are the Metro Health System. We are the proud sponsor of the comeback.
The commander of Fort McHenry gave orders that the flag to be flown over the fort be made large enough so the British will have no difficulty seeing it from a distance. It measured an eye-catching 30 feet by 42 feet, enabling Francis Scott Key to clearly see it wave by the dawn's early light.
Can you really have too much in your retirement savings ever? I don't think so. In fact, I know a lot of folks are working hard to play catch-up with their retirement contributions. If you're one of them, Jim Lineweaver has good news for you today. Jim's a certified financial planner with the Lineweaver Financial Group. Thanks for joining us, Jim.
Thanks for having me.
You know, I think we've talked about on the show how important putting money into retirement plans is, because your money grows tax-deferred or tax-free. It's the best way to save, but there are limits to how much we can put into retirement plans. I don't think too many people know those limits.
No, and they're not aware of them, and also they keep getting indexed after 2011, so they keep going up every year, which is great.
That's good.
But you got to make sure it always has to be through payroll deduction. You can't just dump it in with a check at the end of the year, so you got to do some good planning.
So tell us about the limits.
Well, some of the limits are really based on your 401k, okay, which a lot of people participate in. So if you're less than age 50, you can put in $17,500, and then also if you're 50 or over, you can add another $5,500 to that to get all the way up to $23,000. A couple things to note here. A lot of 401ks are top heavy, which means they restrict the amount of money that you can put in, and that only applies to the contribution limit of the $17,500. You can still do another $5,500. And also for people that are over age 70, they don't think they can contribute to these anymore, but they can. They can still contribute to an employer plan, and a lot of times if you're not more than a 5% owner in that company, you do not have to do any required minimum distributions on that money.
So these limits that you were talking about, do they apply to business and government workers and nonprofit employees?
Yeah, they can be a little different. So you're going to get that base core, which we just talked about, but people in the governmental sector can even contribute more if you're like an educator, and we have an example for your viewers as well.
Well, let's walk through an example, but especially let's take an educator, because there the limits can be really huge.
They really
which is
can
great.
be. So let's say you're an educator, and we ran an example of somebody who's like 55 and has 20 years of service in. What ends up happening is they can hit that general limit of $17,500. They can do the catch-up of another $5,500. Now they have more than 15 years of service, so they get a $3,000 catch-up there. So they're up to $26,000. But it doesn't end there, because educators not only have a 403B, they also have a 457 plan that they're eligible for. Then they can do another $17,500, another, if they're within 3 years of retirement, another $17,500, and for a total of $35,000. You add these two together, you get all the way up to $61,000 that they can put away.
The only problem is you got to make $60,000. You got to make more than that if you're going to have some money to live on too.
So hopefully your spouse is making good money, and you can just shelter maybe all of yours.
That's
is a nice coordination.
That's very nice. Now, you haven't mentioned IRAs and Roth IRAs. Are there limits to what we do in the Roth, in a regular IRA and a Roth IRA as well?
There are, and those get indexed as well. So if I'm less than age 50, I can put $5,500 in. If I'm 50 and over, I get another $1,000. So taking that total of $6,500, and that's for a Roth or a traditional IRA. But don't add them together thinking you can get up to $13,000 put aside.
Well, this is also important because the fact is, the more we put away, even after 70, the more we put away, the more money we'll have for retirement, and it's growing tax-free or tax-deferred.
It really does. It can make a huge difference.
Huge difference. Thanks so much for your great advice.
My pleasure.
A successful retirement requires discipline and planning, and that includes making sure that you save enough during your working years to carry you through your retirement years. Worried that you haven't saved enough? Give Jim a call. He has limitless ideas on how to help you. His number's coming right up.
For more information, call the Lineweaver Financial Group at 1-888-313-4009 or log on to www.lineweaver.net. Next, the next wave of Medicaid waivers. Looking for places to go, things to do? Welcome to our community calendar. Enjoying Independence Day weekend will be smooth sailing if you ship yourself off to the Tall Ships Festival, anchored in the Port of Cleveland. From July 4th through 7th, you won't need sea legs to enjoy walking through a maritime marketplace, a festival village, and more. Want to reel in more information? Then cast your net at www.clevelandtallships.com.
A few weeks ago, Medical Mutual of Ohio honored 24 older adults, the greatest generation, who have gone above and beyond the call of duty in volunteering their time and their talents for the betterment of others in our communities. Deborah Green is the Director of Community Relations for Medical Mutual of Ohio, and she's here to tell us about the seniors that took top honors at this event. Thanks for joining us, Deborah.
Thanks, Armin. I appreciate being here. Yes, a couple of weeks ago, we hosted our statewide Senior Volunteer Awards at Lander Haven. In fact, our Russ Mitchell served as our MC
From right
that
here
day.
at Channel 3?
Yes,
Great.
it was wonderful. And we honored about 20 honorable mention winners.
Great.
And 4 top winners.
So let's meet the top winners. Let's start with bronze.
Bronze was received by Bernadette Walsh, which Bernadette is with Upstage Players. And it's an organization that teaches youth the appreciation for arts, whether it's music, dance. And through that, she's also able to instill with them some life skills, leadership, responsibility, and self-esteem.
That sounds really good.
Right.
Very important. Okay, silver.
Silver was received by Luther Towers, who was nominated by Mount Olive Baptist Church. He's been a volunteer there for a number of years, and pretty much what he's done is work with young people and mentoring them, stressing to them the importance of education, not only just getting a high school diploma, but the importance of going on to college.
This is, I'm going to digress for just a second here. It's really wonderful that Medical Mutual is stepping out to honor our aging members of our community who are doing such wonderful things. I really appreciate that.
Well, thank you for recognizing that. We do that because community service is a cornerstone for us and what we believe in. We've been around, we're the oldest and largest insurer in Ohio. And we not only just preach that, but we walk that as well. So it's important to us to recognize those who give back.
And what's important to me is that by honoring these people, you're encouraging others to continue to do this.
Exactly. We had about 400 people there, and hopefully as they left out the luncheon, they felt inspired to go back and serve as well.
The gold winner.
The gold winner was a couple, Nate and Nancy Cook, who were nominated by the Gathering Place, of an important organization that serves those who are touched by cancer. And he's a prostate cancer survivor, and he just felt like his journey could help others. So he and his wife have partnered together to go out and encourage other cancer survivors through support.
Grand prize winner, the platinum.
The platinum, and I have to mention that all of our top winners are considered from the regional awards as well. And this year's top platinum winner was Dr. Yang Chi Lu from Columbus. And he won the regional award back in Columbus a few months ago. and he took the top honors in our statewide event. And he has encouraged the Asian community to get free health screening. They have a food bank that he created, and he was nominated by the mayor's office in Columbus.
Is this something that if our viewers believe somebody is worthy of this kind of an honor, that they can call or contact Medical Mutual for next year's program?
Yes, because after the conclusion of each award, we start planning for the next year's. And it's any organization that has a senior volunteer that's 65 years plus, they can nominate them. They don't have to be a Medical Mutual subscriber. Just contact us at 687-7603.
We'll give the number. Thank you. It's wonderful
Thanks a lot.
information. Great program.
Thank you very much.
So many organizations simply wouldn't exist without generous volunteers. These volunteers keep these groups' doors open, and many times those volunteers turn out to be seniors. My thanks to Medical Mutual of Ohio for recognizing these selfless individuals, and my thanks to Deborah Green for introducing us to a few of them today.
To learn more about Medical Mutual of Ohio, click to www.medmutual.com. Next, a doctor's diagnosis. It's time to get up and go, an exercise minute on golden opportunities.
Hello everybody, I'm Mike Harbin from Breakout Fitness, and today we're going to show you how to work the chest, the shoulders, and even the back muscles by doing a backstroke. We're also going to try to incorporate our core a little bit by utilizing our exercise ball. You at home, if you don't have one or don't feel comfortable on one, go ahead and feel free to do this exercise on the ground. You ready, Sean?
We're ready.
All right, let's start. We're going to start with seated on the ball with the dumbbells in the hand. We're simply going to walk out a little bit, let the ball roll up your backside till it's about shoulder blade height. From here, we're going to go ahead and make a nice little bridge. We want the dumbbell butts touching above the chest, palms facing away from you. Now what we're going to do is lift one above the head and one down to the knee, bring them back and switch. Now this is going to be one repetition. We're looking for 15 to 20 repetitions here and at least 2 to 3 sets. Remember, make sure you use slow and controlled movements, no fast jerking motions, all right? Also remember to breathe. How you doing?
I'm not doing any fast motion.
Good job. Hey, looks like you're a good swimmer, huh? All right, everybody, 12 to 15. And now it's your turn to get up and go.
For your copy of the exercise booklet, please send $1 for postage to Golden Opportunities, 23240 Chagrin Boulevard, Suite 450, Beechwood, Ohio, 44122.
Summer's in full swing, but if one of your favorite features about this season is soaking up the summer sun, we have points about why you should practice protection. Dermatologist Dr. David Crowe's here to answer our burning questions about being safe under the sun. Dr. Crowe's on the staff of the Metro Health Systems Department of Dermatology. He sees patients at the main campus and at Metro Health's Westlake Health Center. Thanks for joining us today, Doctor.
Thanks for having me.
So let's get started with, we all know we should be wearing sunscreen to protect us from skin cancer, but there are a lot to choose from. We go into any drugstore, they're all over the place. How do we know which is best?
So fortunately, the FDA has recently come down on manufacturers to make things a little bit easier for us in terms of picking out a good sunscreen. For instance, they've banned the use of terms like waterproof, and the term sunblock is no longer used. And they've started instituting the term broad spectrum to imply that both ultraviolet A and ultraviolet B rays are blocked.
Do we want to block both?
Right, we do. Ultraviolet B is essentially just the rays that give you sunburn, and ultraviolet A are the rays that can give you skin cancer and wrinkles. So it's a very good idea to have both of them blocked. And previously, a lot of sunscreens just blocked ultraviolet B.
All right, so we brought in some from the drugstore, and they all have something called SPF, and they have different numbers. What's SPF mean?
So SPF refers to the sun protection factor, and it refers to the sunscreen's property of making it take a longer time for human skin to become sunburned. For instance, an SPF of 10, theoretically under perfect conditions, with constant sunscreen application, would make it so that it takes 10 times longer for you to become sunburned. However, it's not as simple as it sounds. An SPF 100 and an SPF 50, you might think that it's twice as effective or maybe lasts twice as long, but that's not actually the case. SPF 50 blocks about 97% of sun's rays, and SPF 100 only blocks about 98.5%. So there's really not much of a difference between those two.
Does it matter what the number? I mean, is there a magic number above which I mean, up to at least we should try to get?
So I usually tell patients to obtain an SPF of 30 or greater, and there's really no reason to go above 50 unless you have a skin condition that renders you more sensitive to the sunlight.
How often do we put them on?
So it's good to put it on every 2 hours, and you also want, if you get very sweaty or if you go into the water, depending on the label, you may want to apply it every 40, 80 minutes. Also, you do want to apply it 15 to 20 minutes before you go out into the sun.
Why?
Mainly because the chemicals don't become active right away.
I see. All right, and sprays, creams, I think these are all creams, but are sprays good too?
Sprays are okay, but the problem is they give you a very, it's a variable coverage, so you end up just getting an irregular sunburn, especially if you don't put it on in a thick enough layer.
What if we wear clothes? I mean, we've got long sleeves or longer pants. Do we need sunscreen, sunblock, sunscreen if we're wearing clothes?
So it's true that clothes can be very protective of certain areas of your body, but in particular the face, the hands, the neck, and sometimes the feet are uncovered, so you still do need to protect those areas. And clothing is not all the same. If you can see sunlight through clothing, then you're still getting ultraviolet rays. For instance, a cotton white t-shirt only has an SPF of 7, so you want to aim for having dark clothing that's not opaque, that has a tight weave. And if you need more inspiration for why to follow these instructions, it's been proven that regular application of sunscreen decreases the risk of squamous cell carcinoma and most likely decreases the risk of basal cell carcinoma and melanoma.
Well, thank you for the information. People need to know this, especially at this time of year.
I agree.
Thank you, Doctor. Simply using sunscreen does not just protect you from a painful sunburn, although that helps too, but it also helps protect you from developing skin cancer. So lather up often and repeatedly. And to schedule an appointment, if you think there's any problem whatsoever, give Dr. Crow or another Metro Health dermatologist a call at 216-778-DERM, like derm, that's skin, 216-778-3376. If you think you might be any problem, any abnormality, you have to have it looked at. To learn more, visit www.metrohealth.org/dermatology. My thanks to Dr. Crow for shining a light on this important topic.
Find out more by calling Metro Health at 216-778-7800 or go to their website, www.metrohealth.org. Want more Metro Health medical information? Be sure to tune in to WTAM 1100 Radio each Saturday morning at 7 for Metro Health and You, hosted by Dr. Christine Alexander. Next, can you be forced to pay your parents' nursing home costs?
Welcome to Breckenridge Village, a continuing care retirement community conveniently located in historic Willoughby, Ohio. Whether it's a luxury apartment, a spacious ranch home, or newly built brownstones, it's all here with the added security of knowing more care is available when you need it. Breckenridge Village offers an exciting and upbeat lifestyle, and the food is fabulous, and our staff makes you their #1 priority. Learn more about Breckenridge Village and come see our new Veal Wellness and Aquatic Center.
Here's a troubling question that's coming up often these days. Your parent will be entering a nursing home. In order to assure the application's accepted, are you legally required to sign an admission agreement that says you, as the child, will be responsible for paying the bills when your parent runs out of money? What's the answer? Let's ask our lawyer and my partner, Lori Steiner. Thanks for joining us today, Lori.
Not a problem.
So you review a lot of nursing home agreements or admission documents. Are you seeing nursing homes trying to force family members to sign personally for a parent's bills?
Unfortunately, yes, I do, more and more.
Is that legal?
It is not legal. Federal law and Ohio law make it very clear that the nursing home cannot require a child to guarantee payment to get a parent into the nursing home initially or to have them stay there.
What if the child is the parent's power of attorney?
Well, a lot of times the nursing home may require the child to sign papers or sign the admission agreement and to pay pay the parents, use the power of attorney to use the parents' funds to pay for the nursing home, and that's perfectly okay. And that's very different than requiring the child to have to use his or her own funds to keep the parent there.
A responsible party. Nursing homes sometimes claim that a child who signs an admission agreement on a line that says responsible party has agreed, has volunteered basically to become personally financially responsible for the parent. Legal, not legal?
No, that's wrong. They try to use that voluntarily language to get around the law says that they can't require a child to do that. But if you don't want to get into legal battle, you don't want to sign as responsible party to begin with. But if the nursing home really pushes, which sometimes they do, and makes you sign that person in, you want to be really careful how you do that. A child who has power of attorney, what you want to do is to sign the parent in, the parent by the child as the attorney in fact. So that makes it clear that the child is signing that person in and obligating their funds, parents' funds, and not the child's funds.
Should a person have a lawyer review these documents that you're given from the nursing home before signing them?
Well, I think that's a very good idea. I mean, you wouldn't buy a home without really understanding the fine print in the contracts. And a nursing home, it might even be more expensive than buying a home these days. And there's lots of fine print in those contracts as well. So I really would recommend that people have an experienced elder law attorney read over those contracts and point out those kind of problems and how best to sign and obligate your parents' money and not your own.
So don't be pressured to sign right there. Take them with you, read them yourself, maybe take them to a lawyer.
Yeah, and if they put you pressure under to sign it like right today or your parent isn't coming in, that's a problem.
Not good, yeah. Okay, thank you, Lori. Good information. Don't sign an admissions agreement for your parent as a responsible party unless you want to pay their bills. Either have your parent sign for him or herself, which is always best, or at least make it clear you're only signing as agent under your parent's power of attorney. If you have any questions, give Lori a call. Her number's up next.
Call Budish, Solomon, Steiner, and Peck at 1-888-236-5173 for more information or to schedule a speaker for your organization. Or log on to www.budishandsolomon.com.
Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next week.
Would you like to join our kitchen conversation? All you have to do is call toll-free 1-877-765-1543 and leave us your question, name, and phone number. Or log on to www.golden.tv for all the latest information and show updates.